it sounded like a really heavy lift, like essentially building an e-commerce thing from scratch. Like you have to input all your products and ISBNs and descriptions and blah, blah, blah. But they said the way that it has moved sales is just really surprising. Like it's about building sheds, yard barns, that sort of thing. And like they sold through like 3 or 5 years of inventory in a couple weeks. They still felt a little green at the time of this panel, still trying to figure out how this worked. They said, if you follow in our footsteps, understand that you need to be ready for those weird explosions to happen when some rando shows this 1992 book about yard barns, and then suddenly because people can then immediately buy it after seeing the video through TikTok Shop, it moves very quickly.
Hi, I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 28 years.
I'm Ellie Blue, the Vice President of Microcosm. We started this podcast to share what we've learned with newer publishers, so you can learn from our mistakes. Or maybe you just want to learn about the publishing industry.
This week, we welcome back time contributor to the podcast, Jane Friedman of The Bottom Line, who always brings us things that we should have known about to be talking about, but brings us up to speed rapidly, such as the TikTok Shop as an outlet for books. We used to be young and cool, Ellie and I did. So we need somebody like Jane that tells us what is going on in the wider world.
I was recently at the US Book Show. This was in June. And there was a panel talking specifically about TikTok marketing, promotion, and publicity. It had a TikTok influencer on the panel, and then 2 publishers. One of them was a big 5 publisher. I want to say it was Hachette. I'm pretty sure. And I think that's something I never fully appreciated about TikTok Shop. I remember it's been a few years ago that TikTok announced, they were going to have this e-commerce part to the platform where you could just buy something very easily through watching a video. And I just didn't, since I don't use it, I just imagine who wants to be shopping for books through this? Duh. A lot of people. And it's just, I guess maybe because I didn't see this really happen or take off for Facebook or X or any other social media platform. But, with TikTok, because of, I think, the book phenomenon, for those who don't know, Book Talk has been a big deal in moving fiction sales in particular. And so just bringing together the convenient, the friction-free e-commerce experience that TikTok is offering. It seemed like after that panel, listening to that panel, because it seems like free money right now.
We did.
But
We built this software from scratch to solve our own problems starting in 2001.
It's not only the reason for our survival, but the reason we've been a Publishers Weekly fastest growing publisher 3 years in a row.
Now we want to share it with you.
Join Working Lit and get back the agency to understand your publishing business, market and sell your books, and painlessly pay royalties.
Working Lit, doing the math for publishers.
Visit workinglit.com to give it a try for free.
hear about your experience.
Well, I read your newsletter, and I was like, wow, I'm really getting a good value out of my newsletter experience with Jane's newsletter. I'm glad I subscribed. And then I also had a moment of feeling embarrassed that I was learning something from Hachette's marketing. Sorry, Hachette, whatever smart person is working there and got you on TikTok Shop. I respect you. And then I went and I opened a TikTok Shop just to see. I was like, let's see how this works. And honestly, I guess it wasn't as complicated as I thought, but I want to add the caveat for us. Like, because we do our own fulfillment and because we are already set up with shipping software and things like that, we don't have a platform that can integrate with them. I think if someone was using like a major e-commerce platform for their direct-to-consumer sales, that would integrate with TikTok better. For us, we would need to like build out a little API thing. If sales pick up, I'll say when sales pick up on TikTok Shop, we'll need to integrate it into our system so the orders just come directly into our system and then the tracking gets shipped out. Because right now, every time someone orders a book on TikTok Shop, I need to go and enter it manually, and I type the address in, and then I have to go like copy and paste the tracking number in once it's shipped, which is not a huge deal because in the last month we've sold 4 units, which honestly I'm happy. That's like a number I'm really happy with because it shows that literally doing nothing but putting our books on the platform, we have not used TikTok to promote them in any other way, we can make sales. So and I only put like 20 books on there to start with. I don't want to deal with managing inventory on TikTok if we're not like API connected, so I just put like things we always have in stock and that I thought would be good sellers on TikTok. Like I put all of our workbooks on there, I put all of our tarot decks on there, and all the books we've sold so far have been workbooks of a sort of mental healthy nature. Most of them are the Unfuck Your Brain workbook. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Like TikTok sends me an email whenever we get an order. TikTok sends me an email that says your action is needed. You're late in shipping this order. That's the notification I get.
You're late.
And I log in and I'm like, do the thing, and then we ship it, and then we send the person a catalog, and hopefully they'll come and order from us directly if they like the thing and they want more things. I'm definitely aware that like virality is an issue. TikTok, their shop is actually, it's like it has so many features, it's a little overwhelming, but from what I can tell, they're like good features. Like it really pushes you to like set a limit on how many units you can ship a day, and then it will adjust delivery expectations based on that. So I put 100 units a day, and then if we get like 200 sales, they'll tell the second 200 people that their order is going to ship a day later.
Okay.
So that, they have like systems built in, because I'm sure this has happened before. What else about TikTok Shop? There's a lot of like affiliate programs that you can set up that I don't really understand. There's a lot of marketing things you can do. You can buy ads, you can win rewards and use those rewards to buy ads. I haven't done any of that yet, but we do have an author, Laura Foster, the author of Portland Stairwalks, got in touch with us around the time I was doing this, and she was like, I'm thinking of using TikTok to promote my books. And we were like, awesome, we'll put your books on there. So, here's hoping that, but I'm sure it's going to be the zine about sheds or whatever. I'm totally sure that it's like going to be the equivalent of that actually takes off, if anything does. But yeah, I feel like being ready for a bonanza like that is like 3/4 of the battle with marketing of this nature, like using these kinds of platforms. And I don't know, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I'm just trying to put in like a couple hours a week into like expanding the shop, learning a new thing about what it does. I might actually make a TikTok this week promoting something. We'll see if I can get Joe to be the spokesmodel, of course.
Our industry is run by billionaires and conglomerates.
At Microcosm, we wanted the freedom to independently sell our books, easily pay royalties, manage our inventory, and understand our business all in one place.
That's why we've been using our own software since 2001.
Now, we want to share it with you.
Working Lit is the only business success software that is created and owned 100% by publishers for publishers.
Join Working Lit and get the agency you need to help your business grow.
Visit workinglit.com to try it for free.
The affiliate marketing on TikTok, I think, is really powerful in moving copies. So I don't know if you guys I know you have a fan base and people who love your books. It seems like a no-brainer. If some of those people can be tapped as affiliates, it's going to reward everyone.
Yeah, and it seems like that's something that you need to like officially name someone an affiliate. They can't just like come join your affiliate program.
Correct.
I think that's
Right.
I mean, I always tell people that's the best thing about this job is you literally learn new things every day, but I can see how not everybody feels that way about it. That the fact that it's constantly evolving might be a downside for a lot of people. But so yeah, it's interesting. So are you seeing like, are more of the case studies that you're running into more like Hachette's, or is it everybody is kind of a unique special case?
Hachette, I think the other big five is HarperCollins that's done it, but I haven't heard them share any of their successes or what difference it's made. There is one publisher based in Europe that does a lot of what I would call prepper books. or alternative health types of books. And they're able to, I think they've moved maybe more than 1 million copies through TikTok Shop, mainly driven through affiliate marketing. So I think that the niches, I mean, I consider them in a niche. I think the niche publishers may in fact have even more outsized ability to use what's happening there than like a multi-topic or a general publisher like Hachette. Like, I don't know if Hachette is focusing on any particular line or topic. I don't like, it seems like they just went all in and they're kind of just waiting and watching. And if they get lucky, great. But with a niche publisher, I just feel like to me, it's a much more like straightforward and logical path to how that's going to work because you're so in touch with your community.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, let's hope that prepper publishing remains niche. I guess at the moment that's stream. We have like a bigger problem to worry about than how to sell books on TikTok. Say I'm a new publisher. What should I know as I move into this endeavor?
I think you can learn from one of the most spectacular failures that I've seen yet in this regard, which is the TikTok parent company started their own publishing imprint to try and capitalize on what's happening there. It's called Eighth Note Press, and they went out of business, or it was closed in a matter of a couple years. And they basically just thought by virtue of, mentioning the books on TikTok or just publishing them, that they would be able to move copies or get the book talk community to support them. And it was pretty obvious that that wasn't going to work out unless they had like some sort of authentic, engaged presence and they actually understood what those folks look for. And then the other, like, I don't even know how to justify this mistake that they made. They didn't even set up their own TikTok shop for their own TikTok imprint. So I would say that if for those, like, I see so many publishers look at social media in a way that's too disengaged. And so I would say I would obviously pair the TikTok shop with some sort of a presence or an account, or look to the affiliate marketing that we discussed as a way to spread the word about what you're doing. So I find that sometimes, like the TikTok imprint did try to do some ads focused on the TikTok audience that didn't work out because most of the TikTok community is they're looking for the authenticity, and they may not respond to the ads unless the ads are done in the style of people they know and respect, so that it feels more like content rather than a hard sell. So, for instance, I would not recommend to you that you start advertising. It would make much more sense to have your staff or your authors or whomever talking, like doing the real talk around why you did this book.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be fancy. Like, the authenticity thing gets repeated ad nauseum with this platform, but it's true. Like, that you don't need the fancy lighting. You don't need the good camera. It just the more off the cuff it looks, probably the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. My advice to someone starting out would be with any kind of third-party seller platform, whether it's TikTok Shop, Etsy, Fair, itch.io, I don't know, any platform you use, if shipping is an issue, like, make sure you really understand the settings that you're setting up, because you can really screw yourself over by getting that wrong.
Oh, Ellie, you mentioned that you don't have the integration with their e-commerce system. Like, are there specific industry standards they work with, like Shopify or WooCommerce?
There's a whole ton of integrations they have, and I don't know what most of the things are. And now I'm like, should I know what those things are? What more is there to learn? But I'm sure like if you use the major ones, it will probably just integrate automatically, and that is a good idea to use. But also they are set up, you can do anything with a spreadsheet. Like any good platform, you can upload, they give you a template, then you can put in your product data and upload it. It's a little clunky, but you can figure it out. And yeah, if you're just like a person with a zine, you can do it. You don't need to buy another service to do it for you, though at some point you'll want to.
Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub,
On Twitter at Microcosm,
on Facebook at Microcosm Publishing,
on Instagram at Microcosm_pub.
and here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.